check it down the runway.
Yep.
Hopefully, won't lose it. Do we have a microphone? We have a microphone. Hi, I do not have my shit together. My name is AC. This is Dank RC. I so much don't have my shit together that I've lost the live stream window. Let me get that back. I didn't have the sound on. I quit the other live stream early. Why don't we do a live stream where we go through the entire process of taking a flight controller from scratch to INAV 4.0, ready to install into a wing. Well, yes, a wing. So what we have is the FT Flerken build. The FT Flerken build is going to use the lovely... okay, so let me clarify that I've never used this flight controller before. So one of the things you're going to have to do, you're just a regular person like me. With all due respect to all the great YouTubers, I learned from them. I am not much of a teacher. I'm a learner. I learned from like Bruce Simpson and Joshua Bardwell and Powell Spikowski and Painless 360, you know, Matt Ogborn, who's disappeared from the world, but we miss you, Matt, wherever you are out there in Bristol. I can't do a Bristol accent. So we're gonna do a search for INAV. We can go on the computer. That is number 2. Let's do number 2. And on the computer, we can look for RacerStar F, that one right there. And let's see what information we have at this page. What we want is some images of nothing here. That's nice, but oh wait, what do we have? Maybe this? Do we have anything about the wiring? No. You think they'd have like a Maytech-like thing. Let's get as much information as we can. Oh, I know. There was a sales site that had it. Okay, so let's go back and go. It was... I went to shopping, and it was this place right here. Here we go. This is our flight controller, folks. And what we're gonna do is do an INAV on it. I just want to say, if ever Think Flight comes back, thank you. I'm sorry I just like cut off that last live stream. I was doing it for an hour and I thought it's late. I don't know. It's just Friday night and it's late, and I should have watched Bot Grinder's thing. Finished watching his stream first and then come back to it. But anyway, I was honored to have Think Flight on watching my live stream. Thank you. Your videos are awesome. So let's look at this. We can do, where are we? I keep saying, I gotta learn it's been a while since I've done a live stream, except for earlier today, and I don't remember my camera combinations. And the top one is not on this list. Might be why I don't know which one it is. Okay, so let's just see. I'm gonna cycle through some things here, folks. Sorry, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, that killed my window. That kills the window. Whatever F4 does, for some reason it kills the window. Because it shouldn't be F4. It should be, oh, Control Alt F4. That's why. That key combination can... Oh. I've got to change that. Okay, never mind that for now. Okay, I fixed a bug, folks. Well, I discovered a bug. Discovered why a bug does what it does. Okay, 9, nope. 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 Why are these so wasted? There's so many wasted things here. Here we go. Which one was that? 11. SD cam. Duh. It is on here. Okay. My apologies, folks. I'm learning this all over again. So here we have our RacerStar. So the first thing we're going to want to do, we're not going to do any soldering or anything to this. We're just going to connect it to USB. In order to connect it to USB, we're going to need a decent cable. And the only decent USB-C cable that I have came with my GoPro Hero Session 5. So we're going to take that, plug that into here, and then we're going to go to our computer. So if we look at the microphone, or if we look at the microphone, if we look at the computer, which is number 2, I see. So every time it's going to close that. Oh dear, that sucks. Oops. Sorry, give me 1 second, folks. Just bear with me for 1 second. Oh dear, I lost my window now. Crap, give me 1 more second. Oh Jesus, I gotta switch computers again. I have really screwed my pooch here. One second, folks. How am I going to get this so that it doesn't close the damn window every time? Oh, there's so many windows open on this machine. I'm embarrassed. Okay, let's get this all by itself. Huh? There we go. Now I can minimize this, and minimize this, and minimize this. Sorry, everybody. I'm really sorry. Oh, my God. Okay. Now I can just at least have a duplicate to... Can I duplicate it? I don't know. This one, I should have a pop-out for the chat. That's what I should do, pop-out. I should prepare this ahead of time. That way, I don't have to have that. If I just lose it, I can do that. And I'll still have this one. Okay. There we go. Okay, I think I've gotten some things straightened out here. So the first step in putting INAV, what are we? 16 minutes in. And I'm saying, finally getting to actually putting INAV on here, and that's the whole point. So the first step will be to, of course, gather your flight controller together and download the INAV configurator. And I'm not going to go through all that. Just Google. I suppose I could, but I mean, you're going to have here's what I do. Let me switch to the desktop here. I have every configurator. And I watched a video of Painless 360s recently, and he too has every configurator. Was this close that again if I switch? Yes, it did. Oh my gosh. I gotta fix that. I have to fix that before the next live stream. Okay. Oh, I wonder how long that'll take me if I do that right now. Okay, never mind. We're just going to go back to where we were. Oh, we're still on the desktop. Okay, so I install like every version of INAV configurator that I might have a vehicle for. Pretty soon I'll be able to get rid of this INAV 2.2.1 because I won't have to worry about it so much. Because my plane, all those planes have been updated. All the 2 planes that I had. But I think for this one, I'm going to put INAV 4.1. So what I'm going to do is just run the configurator for INAV 4.1, no matter what version is currently on the flight controller. And I'll show you how I'll deal with that. Assuming I can get the driver to work. So, okay, we start INAV 4.1 configurator. And did I start it? It started. Okay. So what we're going to do is not do the HD camera because that is on the wrong number. We're going to 11. There we go. It should be on a different number anyway. So we'll just switch back and forth between these. So we're just going to plug this in to the computer here. And then when you get back to your INAV configurator, you'll see up here COM port. If everything goes right, the drivers will just be there. That's what usually happens with me. If not, you use the Immersion RC driver fixer. That is this thing here, or the Impulse RC, excuse me. The Impulse RC driver fixer. Is that what it is? Yes. That's the program that you can use to fix the problems with the driver. In my case, I don't have a problem, but I'm going to have a problem when I hit connect, and you'll see what will happen. What will happen is it put me in CLI mode. And why did it put me in CLI mode? It put me in CLI mode because I am not, it doesn't know this firmware. So what we're going to do is figure out what firmware we have by typing the word version. And what we can see is that we have the INAV Maytech F405 SE 4.0 configure. Oh, it came with 4.0. So what we're going to do is go to disconnect, and we're going to go to the firmware flasher. Oh, what we should do. All right, let's do this. Let's do this properly, folks. Let's go to INAV configurator 4.0. Let's open that one. Where did it go? Oh, no, we don't want that one. Let's go bye-bye. Okay. INAV 4.0. We know there's a newer version. We don't care. Now we're going to hit connect again. This time it should not go to the CLI. Oh, it's having trouble connecting. So what we need to do is probably disconnect it and then reconnect it. Here, I'll show the screen this time. You see what happens on the screen. If you look up over here where it says COM3, you'll see a COM4 show up. Now, let's hope it connects. Oh dear. Yep, there we go. So we should go to the Setup tab if it understands how to talk to this flight controller. It's not super speedy right now, I'll tell you that. Let's just see what happens. Let's give it time. There is lights flashing on the flight controller. There's the dog cam. That's the Zoe cam. Oh, I screwed up my view now. I have to fix it. There we go. Well, it's still not. Oh, you didn't have the Zoe cam. I couldn't see the Zoe cam. Here. That's the Zoe cam. There's Zoe. She's hiding from the thunderstorms. So we'll get back to where we were here. Oh dear. My apologies. Okay. Well, it still says waiting for data. This is life in the INAV world. So let's disconnect. Let's totally disconnect. We've disconnected. And now we'll reconnect. Let's use this other USB port. Let's try again. Oh, there we go. So, look, we have a wing. You know what that tells me? That the mixer is already set up. And it is. So here's what we want to do with the, you know what? Let's just not even put 4.1 on. Let's just keep it like this. We don't have to update the firmware. That way, let's look at our situation. Let's look at the calibration. It says it's calibrated. If I didn't know better, I'd say that this flight controller has been used before. I don't remember doing this if I did it. Okay, so we're ready to solder it. We've got all of our situation looks good. Let's look at our ports. This is important. So one of these extra UARTs is what I'm going to put on the INAV radar. Probably UART 3. So let's make a note that we have. Make some notes for the Flerken on our. You can see my Flerken note page here. What was I looking at? I was looking at UART 3 because UART 3 for GPS. This is set up for UART 4, and this is set up for UART 5 for MSP. Very interesting that all these things are set up already. Okay, so you definitely don't want to mess with UART 1. That's probably the VCP right there. So you always leave those two on MSP. But look at that. That's on a different speed. I almost want to do a full chip erase on this thing. Now that I'm looking at it. What do you think, chat? there. That's okay. I don't do this well enough to get an audience, and that's okay. What are we looking at? Yeah, we're looking at my drawing. This is my lighting plan, by the way, and some information about what we're doing here. So let's look at the settings here. Stop motors on low throttle, enable serial, soft serial. Probably don't even need those. Telemetry output, yes. We're going to use the light strip. We're going to use it. So black box isn't enabled. Interesting. Data flash, no chip found. Okay, let's disconnect from this. That is telling me something bad. Now let's go back to our website that had the, where in the hell was that? Lost it. Let's just, oh, lovely, Firefox has been updated. RacerStar, star. Let's look for it again. Sorry, folks, I clearly don't have my act together. I don't know what the right target is. We're going to verify what this other page said that I liked. That was this page right here. They moved it to the top position. Let's move on down here. $73. I paid like $35 for mine. Okay, let's see if it says anything about the firmware. ArduPilot and INAV, but what? F405SE. Okay, so let's go back. Let's unplug this. Let's unplug this. Let's go to INAV. Let's go to the INAV GitHub. Ooh, that's the key 4-axis thing that I want to build. Okay. Let's go to GitHub. Do I have one open? I don't have one open to, I have one open to INAV Radar. Oh, look at all the ones I have. PLLE, okay. Let's just do another tab here. I don't want to do this anyway. That was an interesting idea, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use a plugin. Okay, so what are we looking for? We're looking for INAV GitHub. I want to make sure I know what the release is. 4.1 Raging Sparrow. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just in case, best practice, folks, 30 minutes in, I've got what you need to start off with is get the best backup you can of the flight controller. So let's plug it in. Let's switch to the computer. Here we are. And let's get connected. And let's go to the CLI. And we're going to type dump all, first of all. And then copy to clipboard. Then let's open Visual Studio Code. Let's see. site. Okay. Oh, we have a page open with. Okay. Here, we'll do, which one, where is that located? I open TX. It's in the wrong place. New file. Control V. Then we're going to save as documents. Projects. How about projects? It's Flerken F4, Flerken RacerStar. Project. Flerken RacerStar F405. We'll go right in there. Look, there's the other folder for the arrow. Okay, we're dump all .text. Don't do that. I hate that it tries to do this thing with file types. That's one of the bad things about Visual Studio Code. Okay, let's not just do a dump all. Let's do a diff all. Oh, wait. Let's clear output history. Then let's do a diff all. Diff all. Then let's copy to clipboard. Then let's go back here and do a Control N, and then a Control V, and then a Control S, and then we'll call this, oh, see, it did that again. That's so annoying. Don't try to guess what I'm going to name the fucking file. Jesus. Hate that. I hate AI. I just hate AI. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, I hate AI. I'm glad I'm old. I'm an old man. I'm almost 60. Thank goodness I won't have to live in the scary future of AI. Okay. Because right now AI ain't that I. It's AS. A stupid. Artificial stupidity. Okay, I've done a diff all and I've done a dump all. Those are basically what I need to do before, and just in case I want to get back to this. Okay? So I'm going to disconnect. And then I'm going to disconnect physically, like I'm taking it off of the, let's scoot it over a little bit. Get the corner of the laptop in there. We'll scooch it back when I get to the soldering in 3 hours. Okay, let's go back to INAV 4.1. Okay, so here we are in INAV 4.1. We're going to plug in the flight controller. And then we're going to hopefully connect to it. And we go straight to the CLI because it is not a matching version. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to disconnect. That's right, I'm in the wrong place. We're going to go to Firmware Flasher. And, oh, let's do this. Let's switch to this camera. Let's disconnect. How do we get this in DFU mode? Well, we're going to press this handy dandy boot button while we plug it in. And then on the computer, you'll see instead of the port number, it says DFU. And that's what it'll do when you get it properly in boot mode. And that you have the proper driver for. Now, if you were going to use the driver fixer, you would get it turned on in DFU mode, even though you might not know it's in DFU mode. It might not register, and then you would use the driver fixer. So you would boot it with the button pressed, then run the driver fixer, if that makes any sense at all. Okay, so now we're going to search targets. We're going to choose a board. We're going to choose the Maytech F405 SE right here. It doesn't say F, does it? It just says, oh yes it does. Maytech F405 SE. And then we're going to say 4.1.0. We're going to leave full chip erase in there. No reboot sequence, because we're not trying to reboot it into DFU mode. It is already booted into DFU mode. So now we're going to go down here and we're going to click on this load firmware online. Then it shows you what release it's got. Fix for Maytech. Oh, we don't care about that. That changed. None of these affect us necessarily. Thank you to all these people who contribute to INAV. What an amazing thing. Okay, now we're going to really flash it. So here we go. We're going to press this flash firmware. And you can see it's going to erase. It's all or nothing. Happy Friday, everybody. If you're just watch this on a Friday. Only watch this on a Friday. You should only flash firmware. It's Flash Firmware Friday. You should only flash firmware on Friday after doing Friday night type stuff. If you go to Bot Grinder, do some Bot Grinder type stuff. And come on back for Friday. Oh, Bot Grinder stream is over. Okay, so now what happened? You saw that it rebooted and it booted back into COM4. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the Welcome tab. We're no longer in DFU mode. We're in communication mode. So we're going to hit the connect button. And we can tell we have a fresh, clean slate here. We are starting from scratch, folks. We're starting from scratch. So we're going to say airplane without a tail. Although you could put a rudder on a you could do it. I'm going to use this too. I have a little box here that helps me do some of the sides, and it might be wonky, like the side with the wires coming out. Okay, so let's look at all of our things. UAV is leveled, everything is safe except accelerator is not calibrated. So what are we going to do about that? We're going to calibrate it in the calibration tab. So let's do that first before we do any mixer. Okay. Calibrate accelerometer. So we're going to just do each side. So we're going to press it again. Got that side. Now let's turn it all the way over. Oh, let's switch cameras. We'll switch back and forth. And turn it over like this. And hold it. And then we go back and we press calibrate accelerometer again. Okay, I got it upside down. So now we're going to go and put it on one side, like so. And then it does wobble a little bit, so try to hold it straight. And then do that again. Okay, now we're going to go back and we're going to do another side like that. And then we're going to go back and hit the button again. Okay. And what do we got? We've got to do like this side with the wire. So what are we going to do? I'm going to put it in this box like that. Then I'm going to, oops. hit the button. I missed it. Okay, so now we only have one more to go. And that one I think is this way. So we're going to hold it down this way like that. Oh no, it's... Which way is it? It's face down. It's this way. This is the way. We didn't get this side, really? Okay. So now we're going to go back to our screen. Okay. So now that means it's finished. We're going to save it. Save and reboot. So now we're going to... next step is we're going to go to the mixer. It's the very next step. And we are going to airplane, flying wing, load and apply. It's as simple as that. Save and reboot. And what will happen is you'll notice immediately a change to the setup page if everything is going right once we connect again. And what is that? It's a wing. Woohoo! So as I move it around, it is moving on the screen. And that's what you want to see. So now the next thing you want to make sure of is it moving in relation to the arrow on the front? So if you look, it's really small, but I am doing this so basic, but there you go. You see that little front pointing arrow? That's what you want to have. If you don't make any adjustments to the firmware, that is the forward facing arrow. So this is the bottom underneath, that's down, that's up, and that's forward. So that would be left, and then that would be right. So what you want to do is turn the thing, the flight controller, while looking at the screen and making sure you dip it forward. What you can do is if you're holding it straight in front of you, you can go and hit this reset Z-axis, and that'll put the back behind you. So you can see I'm holding the back behind me, and I hit that reset Z-axis, so now it moves in relation to exactly the way I'm moving it. See what I'm doing? Gotcha. Okay, that's simple to understand. I won't go any further. So left bank, right bank, down, pitch down, pitch up, and then let's do some yaw too. Yaw, yaw to the right, yaw to the left. So you can see that the flight controller is now set up with the calibration. Does it seem level when you place it down? Seems pretty level. Might be a little bit off. We can fix that with some flight controller trim if we have to. Okay, so we've done the tabs. We've done the calibration tab. We've done the mixer tab. Now the outputs tab is where you're going to get rid of, let's go back to the mixer tab and get rid of the second motor. It only has one motor. Now let's look at the outputs. We're just going to go down the tabs little by little. We are going to enable servo and motor output. We're going to leave everything at defaults here for now. And, we did not, I did something wrong, didn't I? Delete, save and reboot. I didn't hit it. Excuse me. Okay, so let's reset Z-axis again. So it's like that. Thank you. Okay, so we're back. Calibration is good. Mixer. Only one motor. Thank you. It wouldn't matter if it had two, I guess, but yeah, doesn't. Okay, so servos are on 1 and 2. Motor output is on 0, I guess. We're not going to test those right now because we don't have any pins hooked up to it. Now, let's go and visit this web page that we had. Oh, I'm going to have to find it again. Here. Here we had a wiring diagram, I believe. There it is. So, none of that's going to affect us. What we want here is the, oh yes, back to this. Where's our GPS? GPS is on 3, and I mapped my wires to go to 3. So what we'll do is GPS on 3. So UART 3, we're going to go to Sensors, GPS. So save and reboot. And we could also reference the Maytech page, since this is sort of like a clone of the Maytech. So let's go back to this. And let's look at what they had smart audio for. There. Can we see? T4. So T4. And do they have a chart like showing what the outputs are? Some sideways pictures here of something. I don't know what all, oh, that's the SpeedyBee app. But it doesn't really show you anything. Right? Yeah. Big deal. Does the SpeedyBee app. Okay. Excuse me. This is what it's like when you're starting from scratch and you're just a regular user like me. I'm not an expert. I'm just getting it together here. Okay, so let's go back to this wiring diagram. We're going to stay on that. So T4. So let's go back to... Oh, and then what do we have for our R9 Mini? That's exactly what I'm using. S-Bus. And S port is T2. So S-Bus must be... Oh dear, what is S-Bus going to be? I should have paid more attention to that other screen when I was on it back before I wiped out the firmware. Well, we'll figure it out. Okay, so let's go back here. So let's go to ports. So GPS, UART 4. That was going to be TBS Smart Audio. And then, see why I'm doing that? Because the TBS Unify Pro has a T, this green line, that's the Smart Audio line, T4. So we're not using R4, so that's the end of that. So now we have T5 for not camera control. So we're going to use T5 for either... Oh, UART 2, Serial RX. Okay, that's already set up for us. So GPS, Smart Audio, and T5 is going to be MSP. And we still have UART 6. So this will be where INAV radar goes on UART 5. TBS Smart Audio is going on UART 4. GPS is going on UART3. R9 is going on UART2. VCP is on UART1. And we still have an unused UART and an unused soft serial. And we don't even need the soft serial. We should turn that off. You don't need it. Okay, so ports configuration is done. Now, onto the configuration page. We don't have any of these things. I don't know what this current scale meter is, but I hope that's... I should have paid attention to what the other one was. Oh. Stop motors. Okay, we don't need this. We're going to turn that off. We're going to turn this on. Black box. Yes, black box. Enable motors. I don't think we need the CPU. Air mode we're going to enable. Yes. Launch mode permanently. Automatic battery profile. Continuously trimmed servos. Okay. This I think I'm going to want to turn on, but so the airplane keeps flying straight when switched to manual mode. Requires GPS. I'm going to turn that on and see how it works. And then we're going to do this race band. And I am race band 3. Power level. I don't know what my power level. I think I only have 3 power levels. I don't know how that works. Let's put it up to the highest. Save and reboot. I want to do one more thing on the configuration page, though. That's the craft name. And we're going to call it the FTF bird. B-O-P, bird of prey. B-O-P. Save and reboot. Okay. We're getting close to the end, folks. Another hour. We've done it. So we can see that our health is good. Hardware health is good. It doesn't look for a GPS. So do we have GPS enabled? Configuration. Because we should have some problem with the GPS here. GPS, we have to turn that on. I don't know what we should do for that. No, we're not going to do time zones or anything. Okay. Didn't have GPS enabled. What else am I missing? No magnetometer, no pitot tube, no rangefinder, no optical flow. Wish I had some of those things. Yeah. Save and reboot. Well, what do you think, chat? Did I teach you anything? No, because I'm just learning. I learn as I go. I've done this a few times, but now it still doesn't say GPS. So let's look at our, it should at least have a red thing. Let's look at our configuration. And let's see if GPS, okay, GPS is enabled. Let's look at our ports. GPS, UART3, 15200. I believe that's what we should have it at. So it should be, oh, it has red up here now. Okay, that's what we want. because we want it to say navigation not safe. Like when we look up here, there we go, right there. See, we want a red X there because we're inside. We don't have the GPS hooked up. Okay, fail safe. Now what we wanted to do is not land. We wanted to return to home. Save and reboot. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. This is what it takes to do INAV from scratch with no backup or anything. You got a new flight controller. You don't know who had it, what was happening with it. Like this one. I don't know. It was weird. So you have to bear with me. It takes a long time. If this is what you're going to do, you're going to have to do this too. Now, this I am not going to touch for now. What we will do is look at the rates, and we're going to turn the rates up to like 300. And we're going to maybe turn this up to maybe 110. Okay, so let's save that. And I'm not going to mess with filters. Mechanics. Now, do they have the fixed wing level trim? So this is what I would do if I had a problem back over here. If I felt it wasn't level. Okay, so advanced or PID tuning, we've gone through all these. Now we've got advanced tuning, and I think this has some of the auto. Oh dear, this is taking a long time to load. Fixed wing navigation settings. So this is some important stuff here. This is what happens when you're in a navigation mode. This is what happens when you're in auto launch mode. So I leave many of these things the same, but this one we're going to turn to 13. Motor delay. Milliseconds. So that is half a second. That's way too long. We're going to take a 0 off of there. And motor spin up time, we'll give it that. Okay. Launch throttle, I'm going to give it 1750. I usually do 1800, but let's. Okay, and then launch timeout. This one is also important. And this one I'm going to make for 15 seconds. That means it gives you 15 seconds after it's climbing. It will climb for 15 seconds. And that's what you want, because you want it to have time to get into return to home or loiter mode. Now, I've run into an issue where you couldn't launch it in loiter mode after INAV 3. I hope, and I've asked Paul Spakowski about that, but I don't know what the answer is. End transition time. Smooth transition time at the end of launch. This is added to the launch timeout. Oh, that's a new one. So 3 seconds of end transition. Oh, I like that. Climb angle. We're going to give it a little higher climb angle too. We're going to give it 22. Launch throttle. Okay, so those are our auto launch settings. Generally, leave the threshold and acceleration alone. Detect time. Let's review what that is. Time for which thresholds have to be breached to consider launch happened. Okay, so very small amount of time. That's what we want. Okay, loiter direction. Right. It means it turns to the right. So if I put a side-facing camera, I'm going to want to put it on the right side. That's the nice view. Loiter radius. That's 75 meters. I generally like it. Well, 75 is okay. It can easily turn in that distance. Dive angle 15, climb angle 20. Does that apply to launch mode too? Consider maximum pitch angle in PID tuning tab. I'm going to go with 25. Max navigation bank angle 45. Yaw, there's no yaw. Throttle smoothing. This is relatively... A lot of these settings are new to me. They were only in the CLI back in the 2.0 day, 2.x days. So yeah, okay. Navigation, max throttle. Min throttle. Allow manual throttle increase. We're going to say no. Cruise throttle, 14. Okay, let's see how all that works. Battery estimation settings. We're going to not worry about that. Now let's look at this RTH. Altitude mode. We're going to say extra. I don't know what these are. I better read the wiki. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, that's 50 meters. We're going to make this 60 meters. Now we're going to make it 70 meters. Home altitude. Used when not landing at the home point. Upon arriving at the home point, the plane will loiter and change altitude to the RTH home altitude, which means feature is disabled. So we're going to say down to 40 in case I want to try to land it. Now I'm going to disable that. That's a new feature. I don't know. I want to make sure. Climb before RTH. Yes. So climb to 70. Climb regardless of position sensor's health. Override RTH and climb setting with roll pitch stick. Override RTH altitude and oh no. Land after RTH. FS only. Fail safe only. Okay, let's leave that. Minimum RTH distance. That's 5 meters. It will land instead of RTH. It will land instead of RTH and land. Okay, abort threshold. That is also what? Oh, 500 meters? How many? 50,000 centimeters divided by 100 is 500. Meters. So if it's 5, this is, notice if distance to home is increasing during RTH, if it exceeds the threshold defined by this parameter, instead of continuing, UAV will enter emergency landing. Default is 500 meters, which is safe enough for both. Okay, we'll just do that. Okay, max alt home climb rate. Alt hold. Oh, I don't know. That's also a setting that I never messed with before. Navigation climb rate. Centimeters per second. 5 meters per second. 2 meters per second. Waypoint radius. 50 meters. Waypoint safe distance. 100 meters. Okay. I like that. That's the distance between the home point and the first waypoint. Landing speed until slowdown altitude is reached. Slowdown final landing speed. The aircraft will take until touchdown when the final 50 what? Doesn't tell you what the units are. I don't like when they don't tell you what the units are. See, they tell you what the units are here. Emergency landing speed. Alright, we're just going to accept all that. Boy, that took a while. Sorry. Sorry, audience out there. Okay, so we're making our way through the INAV. We have got through. We're not going to do anything with programming. That's over my pay grade at this point. I'm a TAER person. That's me. We're going to do serial, S-bus, serial ported and inverted, compared to protocol default, no. Serial receiver half duplex, no. Throttle mid, throttle expo, race dead, RC deadband, we're going to set that down to 3. Y'all, deadband doesn't matter, save and reboot. Now we will not have any receiver function there because we have no receiver plugged in. Now I'm interested in finding the, I'm going to skip ahead. I'm not going to do modes right now. I'll get to modes in one sec. I have a sheet for modes. I'm going to go to black box. Onboard SD card. Okay, good. So onboard SD card, 2 gigabytes. Card ready. That's what I wanted to see. I've installed a card. 1-to-1, 100%. Okay, I like that. What is this? Data will be logged in this tab only. Leaving this tab will cancel logging. Where does it go? I wonder. Okay. Sensors. Let's look at our sensor health here. So right now I'm basically not moving the table. So things should be very still. And then when I pick it up and move it, like when I move it around, we should begin to see some things there. And those are the X, Y, Z in the middle. This is just basically yaw only, so you can kind of see. Okay, what are we doing? The red line is Z, so that is up and down. What is yaw? That's Y, that is green. Yaw is very, oh, there we go. Okay, what's the top one? That's the gyro. So that's only when it moves. Well, the gyro is very you got to really move it fast to get some data on that gyro. Scale. Let's do the scale down a little bit. Oh, there we go. Whoa, okay. Let's do the scale to 500. There. See some action on the gyro there. Barometer. So we're going to go up, down, up, down, up, down, and you can see what I'm doing is this. And you can see what the graph is doing on the bottom there. So it looks like the barometer health is okay. The altimeter is okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Temperatures. Do we read temperatures? We're reading any temperatures. We have no temperature values. Okay. No temperature values. Okay, LED strip. I have this plan for the LED strip here. but our stream has gone long and our audience is thin, so we're going to do that next time. We'll do the soldering next time. We'll do the OSD setup next time. Let's see what they have for default. It should be empty. Oh, not empty. What I like to do is put it in NTSC because that's me. Ooh, look, they have a new option, HD. Wow, look at that. Sweet. Way to go, INAV. I'm going to do the cell voltage and not the battery voltage. And things like that. Let's see if we get a borrow temperature out of it. Like these settings so far. This is what you got to set for radar. I can't remember what you have to do though. You have to set a specific number. I think you do that in the CLI, or maybe that's another pointer adjustment here somewhere. Maybe over here? Nope, not that one. Look at what we got there. Some settings just for DJI FPV. Here. This is where you do the pointer, somewhere in here. Crosshair style. I think you're supposed to pick like type 6 or something for INAV radar. Ooh, we have a new scroll bar thing. Where is that? Why isn't that showing up? Okay, I'm wasting time here. Sorry. Metric, voltage, decimals. Yeah, that's all we need is the one. Coordinate digits. Plus code digits. Oh, look at that. Plus code remove leading digits. Oh, look at that. ESC RPM position. That doesn't matter to me. Home position on arming screen. Sure. Sidebar scroll arrows. Does that turn that on? No. I don't know how to get that turned on. No. None. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to leave it at none. Now we have to power it with the battery to do the fault manager because the OSD chip is not getting power right now through USB, I'm pretty sure. Let's look at the alarms. I don't want alarms. I don't want alarms. I'll do alarm at 300. I don't even want that. I want 0. I don't want alarms. I don't want alarms. I don't want alarms. 0. I want 0. 0. Okay, minus 20. That can go back to minus 20. Okay, those are fine. Okay, let's go with that. I'm supposed to turn the crosshairs on and set type 6 for INAV radar. So we set type 6 and then we turn the crosshairs on. Let's look at the other type. Yeah, type 6. Okay, let's save that. Save. Okay, so that's about it. Oh, hey, Kevin B, you're here. Am I wanting to show my computer screen? Well, hell yes, I am. Jesus. I wonder how long I had that screen on. That's hilarious. How are you, Kevin? Are you ready for the semester to end or what? Okay, so I think we've got everything. So let's review. I didn't move everything around the way I wanted, because I have a setup, I think, already, and I can't remember. I have to get my picture of it. I definitely want that front and center. Battery. Then where's the amps? The amps are usually next to the battery, so that's down there. Yeah, we have to do our camping trip too. Camping trip. I want to go camping. Okay, this. I don't know. Where's the system? Oh, I don't have the system message turned on. I'm just winging it here. And yes, you are ready. Yeah, I was pretty much about to end this. So what I've done is just install all the firmware and try to configure it by going down this list. But I'm not doing the LED strip right now, even though I was just showing the drawing for 25 minutes. But we did all these things. So INAV 4.1 is ready for the Flerken. And then I've also done the flight controllers for all the FT combat, or the Aero combat wings. Yay for that. 4.1. I think I saved one for the live stream. That's right, I did. Save one to update 3.1, 3.0 to 4.1. I think. Okay, so what am I doing? Nothing. The Flerken flight controller is done. And if I hit this, that's going to kill that window. Oh, of course it did. Hold on, I got to do this so I can see what's happening. So, yes, camping. Yeah, we could plan it right here. I'm going to my daughter's graduation next weekend, so I'm going to be gone. And then any weekend after that, it's time. That's the deal. So, doesn't look like there's going to be good flying weather for this weekend either, does it? No, it does not. Okay, so, yep, I was about to end, and I've got the flight controller. It only took me an hour and 21 minutes to figure out the firmware, go through all the tabs, down to, geez, I didn't even do the lighting, so not all the tabs, most of the tabs, many of the tabs. I didn't do GPS, doesn't matter, don't need to do anything there. Modes. All right, let's do the modes before I forget. Where is my mode sheet? I had it right here. Oh no. I lost it. We might not do the modes sheet. Do we have the mode sheet under here? No, we do not have the mode sheet under there. Very unorganized, folks. No mode sheet. Oh my goodness, that is such a bummer. I'll have to find it. I know what I did with it. I actually filed it. I made a file, so now I have to find the file because I didn't put the file in the file cabinet. So what can I say? I done messed up. But that is the end of doing this, except for the modes, which looks like, okay, what would you do? You would do this, and then you would, I have a mode sheet that tells me each range and what channel. You need these 3 pieces of information for each one, each mode that you want to enable. And I have that pre-configured already on a list, so I don't even have to. Oh, that sucks. I had it right here, but it's not here. It's not here. It's not here. It's not here. That means it's somewhere. So I don't have it. Congrats. What did I get congrats for? What did I say? I'm so crazy. I don't even remember. Okay, doesn't matter. Congrats to me. Congrats to you, Kevin, for almost getting through a long-ass semester. I know it was long for you because it was long for everybody, and I know you had a harder time than most. So congrats to you for getting done almost. 1-2 more weeks, right? Next week is the last week before Dead Week, and then there's Dead Week, and then there's graduation. Dead Week, then Finals Week. Is it 3 more weeks? Holy crap. I don't know. All right, Kevin, I'm going to sign off. We did the INAV. You might have missed it all. Might not have. I don't know. But it's been enjoyable. This is AC for Dank RC. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I have no idea what I'm doing. Kevin knows that for sure. So that's for sure. So ready? We're over and out. Thanks for watching, everybody.